Hey everyone, it's Savannah. Today is video day. It is the last video of answering the question, why you should heal your digestive system. So it's part 4 of the 4-part series. So we have thus far talked about the connection between your digestive system and all the rest of the systems in your body, and how when one system is out of balance, they all become out of balance. And when they all become out of balance, that's when disease and illness actually starts to occur. And it occurs when you don't, start to listen to your body and start to actually heal it. And then the second part, we talked about your feelings and how, all of this, symptoms and the digestive imbalance, how all of that creates these really just negative feelings that nobody really wants to feel. So these feelings are, as a recap on that, is frustration, embarrassment, pain, anger, confusion, maybe sadness. So these are all the feelings that you don't want to feel, and that's a huge motivating factor to getting you to actually heal your digestive system. Then last week we talked about your symptoms and how the symptoms are the precursor to your feelings, but your feelings are much more of a motivating factor before your symptoms, because you're more or less able to pinpoint that you are feeling something more or less than like you're feeling a symptom and it's related to your gut health, because your symptoms are so variable and they don't always relate to being, constipation or pain in your stomach, and that they can also be, like skin rashes, anxiety, depression, fatigue, brain fog, low sex drive, all of this, right? So it's got varying degrees of symptoms, and how you should start questioning and identifying these symptoms and really start relating it to whether or not it's a part of an imbalanced digestive system. So then today we are going to talk about your outcomes. So the outcomes that you are actually wanting and the outcomes that you will find or receive or get when you actually do heal your digestive system. So this is another reason why you should heal it, right? Is because you will begin to feel all of these things. And these things are, it ranges, right? It is have everything to do with everything we've talked about thus far. So you'll start to balance out your digestive system, so then all of your other symptoms become to be balanced, And when they all are balanced, that means your risk for having, these disease and illnesses become greatly reduced. I mean, it really, really reduces your risk of these disease and illnesses. And if you already have a disease or illness, related to, this imbalance that has most likely occurred, and you healing your digestive system and healing, your systems back out, you can usually, obviously it's not a guarantee and it's not a promise, but in most cases it has been seen that you can treat, manage, or cure them much better and much easier through balancing your digestive system back out. Which is why every single time, or it's everywhere, it's on the, the headline of our group that heal your gut, heal your life. It really is very symbolic in that way, in that your gut really is the gateway to your health. Without a healthy gut, you really aren't a healthy person. So you will begin, another outcome you'll have is that you'll begin to, your feelings, you'll feel happier, you'll feel more in control, you'll feel that you can actually get up and do things throughout the day, that, you won't be so tired or so foggy or like a zombie. You'll feel sexy and confident again, so you won't be all embarrassed by, the yeast and the constipation. So you'll actually start engaging in, your family, and maybe within your sex life, and within just with your partner. I mean, you'll start becoming more of a person in your life, really, because I know from my experience that when my digestive system was out of balance, I almost felt like I wasn't me, and that I really wasn't living my life. I was just kind of moving through it. So the outcome that I felt was that I felt like I was an actual part of my life again, that I had a say in my life again, that I was, healthy enough, and I felt healthy, and I felt good, and I felt energized. So another outcome, energy. You'll have this energy that you've never had before to do these things, to be like, wow, like this is capable. Like I'm capable of, doing all of these things that I've been wanting to do in my life, and to do it without this pain and without, all of those symptoms and the feelings behind those symptoms. So the other outcome is the symptoms, which is what I just stated, is that, you'll no longer have the constipation and the fatigue and the yeast infections and the anxiety and all of the symptoms that can possibly be related to it. They will go away. They might not all go away at once, or they might not go away 100%, but they will be greatly reduced to the point where it's super manageable. And I talk primarily with mental health, because mental health, it's such a slippery slope there, and that yes, your digestive health or your gut plays a huge giant role in the state of your mentality, but it also isn't the complete contributing factor. So you can actually reduce your anxiety and depression, and you can potentially completely get rid of it as well, but you may or may not. That's just one of them that is kind of tricky, and that, you might have a mental health because of, a genetic factor, and that you just can't get rid of it. That's very rare, but obviously I would need everybody to know that what worked for me might not necessarily 100% work for you, or you might not have the exact outcomes that I had, right? And that's, for many reasons. Our symptoms could have been different. Our reasons as to why our digestive health became out of balance. There's so many different reasons as to why, one of my symptoms might have gone away and yours might not be, right? Just on a biological level, we're different people, our cells are different, our genetics are different. But I can guarantee you that through healing your digestive system, they'll either be greatly reduced or completely gone, just poof, gone, forever. And these outcomes really, they just feel amazing. And that, you really start to feel like I said, you start to feel like a person again. You start to feel like you are involved in your life again, and that you have a say, and that, your health, and that, your ill health really is not dictating your life anymore, and that it's not telling you what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot eat, what you can and cannot say, it's not dictating any part of your life anymore, because you have it under control. You are the person that are saying, no, I no longer am telling you, or I am no longer allowing you to run my life. I'm running you. And so it's just a really, really empowering feeling. Now, I must say, and I must warn, that these outcomes only last or only sustainable through the practices that I teach. And that, yes, you can get rid of, your symptoms, and you can have these outstanding outcomes by, changing one or two things in your life, or just by balancing your digestive health out. But if you don't balance everything else that's been going on, or the cause or the reason as to why your digestive system became out of balance in the first place, which is your lifestyle changes, then they're not going to stick. That's the sad truth. You'll feel these outcomes for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll start to go back into your old patterns so very easily. That you'll start to go back into these patterns, and the yeast and the bacteria will have the opportunity yet again to become out of balance, and you will go right back to where you were in the beginning. So this is why I say that it is so very important to change your lifestyle habits. And changing your lifestyle habits is no easy task, none whatsoever. It seems like, if you read things online and, you know, you read like magazines and all of that, like they make it seem like it's so easy, but it's not. I mean, like, have you tried? Because I feel like if you have, you would already be healed and you'd be healed for good. But most of us aren't, because healing and changing your digestive health and sustaining a lifestyle change is hard, and it's complicated. And it's complicated and hard because life is complicated and hard, and that we go through these highs and lows in our life, and that, you know, like, it's not like this constant thing. I mean, one day you'll wake up and, you know, everything's beautiful and great and wonderful, and then the next day you wake up and it's completely different, right? I mean, I'm sure that I'm preaching to the choir here when I say that. And that, you know, I'm not the only person that experiences this. It's a human experience that we have when we have these fluctuations in our life, because we have complicated lives, right? It's very diverse. So anyways, going back, I know I feel like I kind of like wandered off a little bit, but coming back. So these outcomes are that you can feel happy and control. You can feel like yourself again, and you will feel energized and healthy. Another outcome is you won't have these symptoms. You won't have the symptoms that are plaguing you and that you're struggling with no more. You'll have a balanced digestive system and a balanced body overall. And with that, you'll have a severely decreased risk of having those disease and illnesses that we talked about in the first video. So like cancer, heart disease, liver disease, IBS, Crohn's, weight, gaining weight, so obesity, like all of those disease and illnesses that you can get that cause lots of pain and lots of heartache in people's lives, and a lot of money, like a lot of money down the road, healthcare costs, right? So that is what, answering the question of like why you should heal your digestive system. Those are the 4 reasons. 1, the connection between your digestive system and the rest of your body. 2, your feelings and the way that your imbalance, makes you feel. 3, the symptoms, so the precursor to your feelings, and how your symptoms play a giant role in warning you that something's wrong. And then the 4th one is your outcomes. So the outcomes that you get from actually healing it. So that, it's as simple as that. I say it's simple, but I know it's complicated as well. So really just start diving into answering into asking yourself, questions about, why you're feeling this way, why you have this symptom, where is that symptom coming from? How can you not feel that way anymore? Really start diving into figuring it out, right? Figuring out if it's your digestive system or not. Most likely it is. It usually is, and it leads back to your digestive system. Plus, you're here in this group for a reason, because it's a digestive health support group. So it most likely you have some form of digestive health imbalance or upset. So that is it. That is how and why you should heal your digestive system. Next week, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do my video on next week. So if you have any ideas that you would like to hear about or learn more about, comment them below, and then I'll try to try my best to create some form of video about it, and maybe provide some knowledge and insight that way. All right. Well, I hope that everybody had a fantastic New Year's and Christmas and all of that. I know the holidays can be a really stressful time, and especially because it was in the beginning of the week and now it's Wednesday, and it just really can mess with you, or at least it messed with me a little bit. I just really hope that everybody kind of celebrated 2019 in a really good, healthy way. And if it wasn't so healthy, just know that you can always jump back on that wagon, at any point. Right? It's those highs and lows, and the holidays seem to be a low for a lot of people, including myself. It was really hard. Like I said in my post before, I got this little cold over New Year's, and so I was like, dang it, I know it was because of the holidays and the stress and, all of the bad eating that could go associated with it. but I got right back on track, and now I'm feeling fantastic again. All right, so I will see you next week on a video. Remember, if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, comment them below, and I will talk about them. All right, bye.